Well, welcome everyone. Today we get to spend a little time with Bridget Rawls Peterson, who is the yoga therapist here at Flourish. We're so lucky to have her. And I'd really love to start with what yoga therapy is, what your definition of yoga therapy is.
Yeah, sure. So I've worked on this elevator pitch speech just a little bit. So the way that I like to describe yoga therapy to people is that we work on physical, mental health concerns, issues, questions, whatever you might have through the practices of yoga. So just like you might go to see a PT to rehabilitate from an injury, they're going to work from a kind of biomedical conversation. Also, mental health practitioners, they talk to you and work with your mental health concerns in certain ways that they've been trained. Well, in yoga therapy, we've been trained to use these ancient, beautiful practices of yoga to help with both physical and mental health concerns. So we're going to use movement, maybe some somatic movement, maybe some asana. We'll use pranayama or breath work, meditation practices, and philosophies of yoga, because yoga is an overall, lifestyle philosophy and practice at its very core. And so we use these practices to help us kind of guide through some of our concerns in life and relate this yoga practice to everything that's going on with us.
That's one of the best definitions I've ever heard. It was better than the one I came up with when I was in school and I had to do it. That's great. I absolutely love that because, here at Flourish, we really are trying to focus on working with trauma and some of our deepest imprints that are held within the body, that it's a totally different direction and avenue to go than traditional talk therapy, which in general just works with the mind and different psychological principles. We're really looking at how it's housed in the body and the different ways that we can pretty easily touch into them and get some change and shifting there. So, how did you come to being a yoga therapist?
Wow. The universe kind of threw me into it. It was like, here, this is what you're going to do. So I've been a yoga teacher for 16 years. I have beautiful trainings behind me from top level teachers in New York City. And I was teaching for many, many years and then happened to become a yoga studio owner. And throughout my teaching, people would come to me with concerns and we would work through yoga in whatever way we could. But as I became a studio owner, people started coming to me more and more with their concerns, very physical concerns, mental health concerns, addiction recovery, other mental health concerns, things like osteoporosis, knee replacements, hip replacements. And as my first response was, I don't know, but let me research it. Let me find it out. And as I researched and as we started developing plans of care for these people, I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. To me, I was just helping. And so I've done that for about 10 years now, just through kind of being thrown into this world of helping people through yoga. I also have a history of an autoimmune disease and struggled with that for about 5 years, and then major surgery and all of that. And throughout my entire process of my condition and my surgery and my healing, yoga was my base. Yoga was, I think, really what stabilized my system in a way that allowed me to manage and work through all of the things that I had going on, both physically and mentally. And so I really developed that passion to help other people work through that as well. So I just kind of got chucked into it, if you will, but I love it. It's
I
amazing.
love the similarities in our stories, and that, my car accident is what got me into the somatic therapy practices, and really changed my life and brought my passion in, and your health journey did that for you as well. One of the things that I get asked the most, and what I see the most confusing about yoga therapy, is how it's different than a yoga class, because most Most people have some kind of idea of what a yoga class may be, or at least they know whether yoga and you're in a room and you're with people and whatever. So could you talk a little bit about what the difference is?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a wonderful question.
Mhm.
A yoga class is wonderful. I mean, like I said, I've been doing that for 16 years. But when you come into a yoga therapy session, it's really a more in-depth conversation, both verbally, but also just in the practices that we do. It's looking at your body as a total conversation. So we don't just look at the physical practice of yoga, which a lot of classes, general classes focus on. You're going to get some meditation, you're going to get some breath work in your general classes, but it is very physically focused, right? The asanas, the movements, and the other stuff just kind of happens and is touched on. But in a yoga therapy practice, the movements are more fine-tuned for what you have going on. That somatic conversation is so much deeper. And how can we move emotion and trauma and just any conversation out of our tissues, out of our joints, out of our system physically, but also diving into the layers that are within the self. And we call those the koshas.
Mhm.
And so we work on this Panchamaya kosha model of not just looking at the body in a physical realm, but how do we look at your energetic state, your mind, the state of how is your life? Are you looking at your life in a way that is purposeful? Do you find bliss in your life? Do you have stable grounds around you and support systems around you? Because all of that filters into our overall health. So in a yoga therapy session, we look at everything. We look at your overall well-being, your overall vitality, and we look at that in terms of multiple layers. And you really don't get that depth in a general yoga class. You really just kind of touch on the surface in a general yoga class. Also, one-on-one customized is
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
To work collaboratively with people. This isn't me giving you ideas or practices. This is us working collaboratively to develop a plan that allows you to heal, to move on that journey of healing in a more in-depth way.
Mhm. What do you love the most about working with people with yoga therapy?
Wow. Everything. Can I say everything? Because um, I mean, watching the breakthroughs that can happen,
Yeah.
watching somebody walk in the first day and be really not sure about where they're going to go and how they're going to get there and have this concept of what they want to do and where they want to be, but not know how to get there. And many times the people that come see me have already done so many other
Yeah.
things to try to find this healing journey. And when we utilize these practices and these philosophies and they go, oh, wow,
Mhm.
that is the coolest moment to me,
Mhm.
is to watch this practice really work. And then to kind of see the cross collaborations. So when somebody comes to me and says, I'm seeing a mental health therapist, I'm seeing a physical health therapist, and then they come back and say, oh, I talked to my other therapist about what I'm doing in yoga therapy, because it's not separate, right?
Mhm.
This is about whole system, whole body healing. And I believe that it's not just one thing. So
Mhm.
I tell my clients, go see a mental health therapist, go see a physical therapist, get those conversations also, but how can we all work together? So I really love when I can see those cross collaborations happening as well.
Yeah, and we often have clients that are coming to me for somatic therapy and somatic body work, and then go to you specific for movement, and then can get even deeper sometimes, mentally, spiritually. Like it's a really good blend, even here in within Flourish.
Mhm.
So we have clients that see both of us, which is really special to be able to do that.
Yeah. I love it when a client says, well, I was working with Lakshmi on this and it related to what we did last week. And can
Mhm.
we, more layer? It's so cool. And so it really does show that we all work together to create healing and helping with an individual person also to take the steps along their journey. Because if we're just giving you practices, it's just us giving you practices. But if you
Right.
have a personal connection to it and you can see the cross collaborations in all of the ways of your life, it's more likely to stick.
Yeah. And what about people that have never done yoga before and they'll say, oh, I'm not flexible, I can't do yoga, how could yoga therapy be helpful for them?
Yeah, I mean, this practice is so much less about your physical ability than it is about, again, I think I'm going to use the words healing journey so much, but your overall well-being and your connection to that inner self, that energetic space, that mental space. And so the physical movements are not like what you'll see in a general class.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you've ever done yoga before or if you feel like you're very, inflexible or immobile. I've had people come to me and that immobility is actually trauma built up in their bodies that we need to start to release. And
Mhm.
so the progressive, gentle movements, slow, small movements that you can do can help to break up some of that stuck prana and stuck energy in the body and create more mobility.
Mhm.
So it's not about flexibility. It's not about strength. It's not about mobility. It's about where you are right now and where all of that you can go.
Awesome. I think that that's really important for people to
Mhm.
know that yoga therapy is a holistic a practice that that we're working with all levels of being. So it's not just singularly focused,
Mhm.
and how you feel in one aspect of yourself infiltrates how you feel in all aspects of yourself. And it's so beautiful to work across the whole spectrum and understand the interconnectedness of all the layers of your experience, and how working in different layers actually moves things a little more quickly and with a lot greater ease, that there's not force. We're not attacking or going after or digging for these things. It's this beautiful wisdom in the body that allows for the change and shift to come when we give it the right support and practices and experience of connection within the self. So I think that's really beautiful. I'm so thrilled to have you here and have you a part of Flourish. It's incredibly special. And I just want more people to really benefit from yoga therapy and from your presence. I think it's really special. So I just want to thank you for being here, and hope that more and more people get to experience time with you.
Thank you. I'm really super honored to be in this space. It's really beautiful. It's super grounded, super healing. The people that I've met from this space are so wonderful already, and I'm excited to hopefully work with more people. Reminding people too that I work both in clinic but also virtually as well. I do telehealth as well. So if you feel like you're not able to get here,
Mhm.
or even if you're traveling, we can still do telehealth, and that's definitely a great way to start the practice and start the healing work. But yeah, this is a really beneficial way of working, and I think that more people should be exploring it, so hopefully they will.
Thank you so much. For more information, please check out the Trauma Informed Yoga Therapy page on our Flourish website, and just look for more and more from Bridget. Thank you so much, Bridget.
Thank you.
Mhm.